Welcome to the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. Just like you, I'm an independent retail business owner. I love the home decor and gift boutique I co-own with my sister, but I don't want it to consume me or my life. Join me each week as I share lessons learned, helpful tips, and valuable information for your retail business and life. Whether you're buying your products or making your products, whether you're a $25K business or a $2.5 million business, I'm on a mission to help indie retailers work less, profit more, and grow. Let's get started on today's episode. Welcome to episode 161 of the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast. How to turn a slow season into profit. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. If you haven't heard, before I get started on this episode, I'm hosting a virtual conference this year in May. It's a 2-day conference just for brick and mortar store owners on May 21st and May 22nd. And that's because I'm not hosting an in-person retreat until 2024. So over the course of these 2 days, we'll have a couple breakout sessions where you all get to connect with each other in smaller groups. And I'll be teaching 6 powerful sessions so you can start to master your schedule, create efficiency in your business, get my foot traffic formula, learn to profit, and strategize for growth. So be prepared to have a lot of aha moments over the course of these 2 days. If you want the best ticket price, a mailed conference kit that's going to be really fun, and first dibs on VIP day tickets. This is going to be a momentum day for a really small group of store owners where I'll be teaching you and walking you through and implementing some of the things you learned over those 6 sessions. We'll be doing that on day 3. So that momentum day will be on May 23rd. If you want to get access to all of this, you want to get on the wait list, it's savvyshopkeeper.com/waitlist. Okay, let's get started on this episode. If you're a new shopkeeper, you may not know when your slow season is. You will identify this after a full year of being open or maybe about 2 years into business. And for some of you, you may not even have a slow season, and that's great. I wrote a 2-part blog post in 2019 regarding surviving and thriving during a slow season. We'll definitely link these blog posts in the show notes. They are some of my most popular blog posts that get visited the most. But looking at these 2 blog posts, it reminded me that after 4 years, it's been 4 years since I wrote those, it would be helpful to follow up on these posts. I've learned a lot over the past 4 years, you know? There are so many things I hear shopkeepers say consistently. I don't have time to do that, or create that, or host that, or declutter and clean that, or I always wanted to do that, but I don't have time. Listen, if you are complaining about being slow, you have time. In Master Shopkeepers, I recently taught a budgeting, forecasting, and planning masterclass. The class came with a helpful, I called it the BFP Google Sheet tool. If you're a Master Shopkeepers member, pair this podcast episode with that masterclass and tool so that you can plan your best year yet. Trust me, you're going to want to do both. Listen to this podcast and pair it with that class and tool. So as I get started, I want to talk about a couple of things I don't want you to do. And of course, I try to be positive and optimistic. I'd rather not focus on don'ts and instead focus on do's. But I do have a couple don'ts I want to share first. First is when the slow season happens, don't wallow. And I'm not saying this to be insensitive. I'm saying this because negativity begets negativity. And if you're down in the dumps, you may not be in the right mindset to take good, positive action. Turn that negative vibe into a positive one. And I'm hoping this podcast episode will drop a little nugget into your brain so you can start to change this, especially if you're a store owner who finds themselves getting into that rut every time the slow season kicks in. Second is, don't judge your business on 1 month of sales, not in retail. Don't do that. During slow seasons, our sales dip, which means sometimes our moods dip, right? I also want to add that I completely get this. My first year in business, it was a struggle. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't realize that we would have days where not a single person walked into our store. That was really challenging. I only wish someone would have recorded a podcast episode like this for me to teach me that it doesn't have to determine my mood. This episode is brought to you by my free resource, Open a Brick and Mortar Retail Store Checklist. If you're feeling overwhelmed, I get it. Get my checklist to help you get your thoughts and to-dos organized. Organized by topic, this checklist is the list I wish someone would have given me many years ago when I opened. Visit savvyshopkeeper.com/open checklist, all one word, savvyshopkeeper.com/open checklist. Sign up for my newsletter to get the checklist. Anyhow, if you're analyzing or determining your mood, I should say, by your monthly sales, that means every month your mood is going to change. Who hears me here? Some of you are going like, oh my gosh, yes, Kathy, I know. We ride highs and we feel great after an incredibly successful holiday season. We're on top of the world. We feel boss. We have cash in the bank. And then January smacks some of us in the face. Am I right? However, if you start viewing your business as a yearly project, you are going to set yourself up for more success in terms of how you feel. This doesn't mean monthly metrics, projections, and goals aren't important. Of course they are. I talk about them all the time. But it does mean you'll liberate yourself from allowing monthly revenue to determine your mood. So now I want to switch into the do's. Number 1, do create a fast cash injection early. So write down a list of things that you can do when you know that slow season is coming up to do some type of fast cash injection, because that will actually help you move into that slower season with a little bit of momentum. It'll make you feel better. It'll give you a little bit of cash to play with, maybe to buy some new products that you've been wanting to buy, change up the inventory in the store. What can you do to get rid of old inventory, dead inventory, inventory that you've been struggling to sell, inventory that's in your storage rooms, your basements, inventory that you have shame around? Because we all know that happens too. But what can you do to create a fast cash injection early on in that season? Number 2, do challenge yourself. And I'm going to call this the 2XLY challenge. Do the 2XLY challenge. And that's set yourself up for a challenge where you double your revenue in the slowest months. And some of you are going to think I'm crazy right now. You're going to be like, what? Well, let's say, for instance, your slow month, and this is going to be different for everyone, so don't use my number as a guide. I'm just throwing out a number. Let's say your slow month is $5,000 a month. What can you do to get that to $10,000 a month? Can you host workshops? Can you host events? Can you do a special promotion? What can you collaborate with other businesses? If you're competitive or simply love a good challenge because it motivates you, then create some type of challenge for yourself. It doesn't have to be the 2XLY challenge. I see this all the time in Master Shopkeepers when I host challenges. They're fun, they're lighthearted, they're motivating, especially around topics that some of us may not love. So for instance, I hosted an email marketing challenge last year. It included a fun bingo card to track progress, and I gave away some great prizes. It was fun and motivating. The best part was I saw how it created results in the shopkeepers who participated, in the master shopkeepers who were really in it to win it. If you're new in Master Shopkeepers or forgot about that email challenge, all the replays are available to you. The downloads, the bingo card I even think I included, all of that is in the lab. So if maybe last year wasn't a good time to challenge yourself around email marketing and you want to participate in that now and just do it for yourself, go watch all of those replays. It was one of the best challenges I hosted. I highly recommend that challenge. Another great example of challenging yourself is I recently talked to a Master Shopkeepers member who drew a thermometer. I always want to say thermostat. It's a thermometer. She drew a thermometer on a dry erase board in her store's office. And she didn't realize how much this would motivate her. And just to give you the visual, it's the kind of thermometer you see where people draw it and then they color it in, and then maybe it's like green at the bottom, and then as you get to your goal at the top, it becomes red, or maybe it goes from like yellow, green, red, whatever it is. At the top, it's like flaming hot because you're on fire and you're hitting that goal. Now, this may not work for everyone, but I definitely see the benefit of doing something like this. So I have a fun and free Canva template that you can customize and print just on a piece of paper. You can visit the show notes for this episode and click on the Canva template link to get this super fun and simple goal tracker template. Again, it's free. You're literally just going to go visit my website, click on the link, and it will send you to the template in Canva for free. I really want to try to get all of you in your slowest seasons to set yourself up for success, and I thought this would be a fun way to do it. This episode is brought to you by the Savvy Shopkeeper Quiz. As a shopkeeper myself, I've learned that there are action steps we can take during specific stages on our retail journeys that help us create efficiency and improve profitability so we can grow. But first, it helps to know which stage you're in so I can help you determine what to focus on. Sign up for my newsletter and take the quiz to find out which shopkeeper stage you're in. You'll get a helpful Savvy Shopkeeper roadmap with a list of helpful podcast episodes and 2 free resources for where you currently are in your journey. If you want to take the quiz, visit savvyshopkeeper.com/quiz. Anyhow, it's March, and actually, yeah, it is March. I'm thinking of what month it is. I'm recording this in March. It will get published in March. That means we're almost at April, and for at least 2/3 of you, your slow months are around the corner, at least some of your slow months. And often for retailers, that could be June, July, and or August. All 3 months, 2 of the months, it varies. And again, this doesn't apply to every retailer, but it does apply to many of you. So many of us dedicate time and effort into planning for Q4, and I get it. That makes sense. I want you to do that. But it's like we give up on the slow months, and I don't understand why, aside from mindset. Like, we can host workshops, we can host events, we can host a pop-up, we can create the scratch off promo cards that I offer a tutorial on. We'll link that in the show notes. If that's something you've been wanting to do, it's a really, really good promotion. Very easy to make them in Canva. There's a whole tutorial on my website. Or you can collaborate with your business neighbors on a small business event and get more foot traffic for everyone in your area. Instead of just waiting for the slow season and then resenting the slow season, I want you to get ready for it. Number 3, do plan for your best season yet. Remember, I'm suggesting that you train your brain to focus on the year, not the month. This means a slower season is the ideal time to put planning effort into what you know is your busiest season. What can you do when it's slow so that you can alleviate that heavy weight and exhaustion of your busy season? As a shopkeeper myself, I can't tell you how many times I've said, man, I always want to do that in Q4. I always want to do that in November or December. I always want to do the 12 days of Christmas. And then that season kicks in and I say, I don't have time. My brain doesn't have the bandwidth to get super creative in that time. So yes, even me, I do it. I get it. In fact, when we launch the new Savvy Shopkeeper Planner this summer, I'll be offering a special bonus for early buyers specifically on this topic. Last year, we offered a Q4 workbook. However, I realized that Q4 isn't the busy season for all retailers. So, for example, florists hit some really busy times around Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. Stores in summer tourist areas have peak seasons in the summers and slow down during winter months. So the bonus I'm going to offer with the planner is meant to serve all retailers, and it'll be a fun one. Number 4 is do tap into Master Shopkeepers. If you're a Master Shopkeepers member, do you realize the volume of creative ideas that are shared in the Facebook group alone? The list is endless. So use the search boxes, both in the lab and in the Facebook group, and you'll want to search keywords like workshop, event, promotion, pop-up shop, collaboration. Any keywords like that will bring up so many different ideas for you to get those creative juices flowing. Number 5, and this is last but not least, do have fun. Some of you might be thinking, but Kathy, you tell me all the time to treat my business like a business, not a hobby or a jobby. Yep, I sure do. But it doesn't mean you can't get joy out of your business or have fun with it. Let me say this, and I want you to pause if you're multitasking. The weight we put on ourselves as entrepreneurs, it's so heavy sometimes. You notice I say we because I have done this too. But I am training my brain differently these days. Not only do I hope this episode helps your slow season mood, but I genuinely hope it helps your brain to make a slow season fun and lighter than years past. If you want to see the show notes to this episode or find links to anything I mentioned, and I mentioned quite a few helpful resources and free tools, you'll want to visit my blog at savvyshopkeeper.com/episode 161. That's savvyshopkeeper.com/episode 161. If you think this episode can help another retailer that you know, we all know the retailers that get down in the dumps during the slow season. Please share this episode with them. I hope it genuinely helps them too. Until the next episode, be savvy and boss up.